welcome to the Oklahoma City Nonprofits in Action podcast. Thrilled that you are here today. We have Damien Knight on the show with Knights in Armor, and we're going to talk about that organization, talk about Damien's story in just a second. You're going to want to stick around after this brief sponsor break. Every day right here in our city, nonprofits and mission-driven organizations are showing up for their neighbors and for their community, and they are doing a lot with a little. Well, this is where Heartwood Agency comes in. Heartwood is a software studio based right here in the Oklahoma City metro area that seeks to help these nonprofits do a lot with a little. They automate processes and use AI to assist in workflows and build custom software solutions so these organizations can make an even greater impact with what they already have. Heartwood is run by a friend of mine, Michael, who's a great supporter of the Oklahoma City Nonprofits in Action show, and I am so pleased to have them as a sponsor. If you're interested in learning more about what Heartwood can do for you and your organization, go to heartwood.agency. That's heartwood.agency. Well, thanks for being here at Oklahoma City Nonprofits in Action. Damien, awesome to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you being here. You have a unique organization, and you're the founder. And this might be one of our newer organizations that we're featuring here. And so we're excited to highlight you and your work, and get some more people involved and interested in things.
Definitely.
Another goal. So I want to start today talking about just one story of an individual that you have served, and then we're going to go out and talk more about what the organization's like. But do you have a story of just one person that you've helped or transformed?
Yeah, I do. This story sticks with me more than any other ones that I have, because I had a lady reach out to us, and she filled out our application online, and it probably was about a couple of weeks ago. She was getting out of a domestic violence situation, single mother, 3 kids, so she was trying to move away from that situation that she was in. And she ended up moving into an apartment complex, but she had to put, of course, a deposit down the first month rent. You know how that works. So she was still in the process of finding work, trying to find a job to support herself and support her kids. So that's where she needed assistance with. So she reached out to our organization. So I talked to her. She went in depth about her situation, and she was telling me about it. So I reached out to the landlord, and I have a conversation with her. And, of course, the stories matched up. So I was like, okay, maybe we can do something to see if we can assist her. Because the problem was she, like I said, she just started working. She hadn't received her first check yet. The landlord was nice enough to let her move in and stay there with just half of the deposit.
It's very nice.
Yeah, so she had to pay the other half on the back end plus that month's rent, and then moving into the next month's rent. So it was kind of hard on her being in the situation that she was in. So after talking to the landlord, I said, you know what? Based on our situation and the funding that we have and our capabilities and what we're able to do, we're going to take care of that for her. So we end up helping her with the rest of the deposit, the rest of the rent for that month, and then she was able to move into the second part of paying the rent for the second month that she was going to be there. So, I had did it, but she didn't know it was done yet. So I gave her a call back, and you could hear the tension in her voice and how stressed she was from the things that she was going through, and worried about what she was going to do for her kids and the situation that she was in and how she was going to overcome it. And I just told her, we kind of took care of that for you, as far as your deposit and your first month rent. And she broke down immediately. She broke down in tears, and she was just like, thank you so much. She was so thankful for what we was able to do. And, that's the kind of stories that stick with us, and that, we take pride in helping people that are in those type of situations. So that's one that always sticks with me.
That's a remarkable story. Somebody coming from domestic violence with children, and you were able to help her out, be that lifeboat, the life preserver, whatever metaphor you want to use to help her.
Correct.
That is a really good picture of what you do. Let's expand broader, though. Knights in Armor, what are you guys all about? What are the different kind of things you find yourself doing?
So we are an organization that help families that are in financial crisis. So if you're about to get evicted, your lights about to get cut off, you need food on the table, you have some type of medical emergency, then we can be able to assist. We also have, volunteers. We have leadership classes. We have mentorship classes.
Okay.
We do those different things within the community. So we got a gamut of things that we do, but at the same time, we offer that immediate assistance for families that's in crisis. So that's primarily what we pay attention to, immediate assistance for those families. So
Well, that's really needed. I mean, we have conversations on this show about homelessness and things like that, and
right,
oftentimes it's those little things that I you miss one rent payment, like little things like that can be the line between having a house or not having a house or
correct,
something like that.
absolutely,
So what you're doing is super important for that for people in those different situations.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm wondering maybe if you could kind of help us bust some myths, if you will. One of my favorite questions to kind of sneak in here on the show, for these people that are in those financial crises, we might have some misconceptions about, oh, they're mismanaging their money or whatever. Tell us about the people that you're interacting with. What's the truth?
Yeah.
What's the truth behind the myths?
So one of them is that like people feel like they can't get assistance due to their situation because they have to have a long-term plan.
Mm,
Meaning a lot of people say, hey, I could get assistance from this place, but at the same time, I got to have a certain amount of income coming in. I got to have a plan. How are you going to pay your bills from the month to month over the next 6 months if we're able to assist you now? Well, that doesn't work for us because we are an immediate. We take immediate action, right? So if
yeah.
you need it right now, then that's what we do. It's not, hey, you don't have to have a long-term plan from month to month. I feel like if you're in a crisis right now, if we can help you make it to the next 30 days, then that might be all that you need to get by. Like the lady with the domestic violence story, she just needed 30 days because she was getting a check in 2 weeks. So that could help her, and then she get her check, and then she continue on to pay her bills and get to the
Yeah.
next way. So being that a lot of people think that, hey, I got to have this planned out. I got to have a 6 months plan. I got to have this. No, if you need assistance, then we're here for the short term. That immediate financial assistance that you may need right there to help you get through the next 30 days. So if you think about needing assistance and something that's immediate, you don't always have to have that long-term plan or your goals mapped out. Some people just need it right then and they need it right now.
That's
We
right.
take care of that on the front end, and what happens on the other end, you may be blessed to run into situations that may be able to carry you through those next few months, but as long as we can help you get there, that's what we try to focus on.
Yeah. I mean, true impact right there. As I said earlier, like that can be the difference. Some just a little bit of financial help here can be the difference between just a steady life and then
Right.
some kind of bigger tragedy.
Absolutely.
Because life is messy and random, and there are all these this everybody has these moments where, oh, the money's not quite working this month.
Yeah.
Something's wrong here. So again, I love to hear about your organization. I think that's a
Yeah.
really unique way to do it. Especially, it's like, why make people jump through so many hoops
Right.
to give them assistance? And it sounds like you're trying to simplify
Yeah.
you do your due diligence, but you're trying not to make it the hardest thing.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of programs that offer assistance and the things that we have within the communities, there is some strain on the process and the procedures and things that people have to go through.
Mm,
And sometimes they lose faith or they give up because it's too hard for them, it's too
yeah.
much, or they think, hey, this isn't going to work for me, or this process is too tough. I got to have this, I got to have that paperwork, I got to go through this. And, it can be, and some of those parameters are set for certain reasons, and you need those sometimes, but
Mhm.
always looking at how can we assist and make the process a lot smoother for the client or for the person that's coming in that needs that immediate help that we can take care of them. So
Great. Well, I am very curious to know the origin story here. As I said, you're the founder.
right, correct.
So, why'd you found it? Take us back in time a little bit and tell us the story of how this came to be.
Uh, so I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, and I tell you the first part of my childhood, I grew up with my mother and my sister in Dallas. In the second part of my childhood, I moved with my dad and my stepmom. But being in those situations where my mom did whatever she could, whatever she needed to make sure that we didn't want for anything. But you living in those communities, in those environments, you never really noticed that you were maybe in situations of poverty-stricken environments because everyone in that environment is like you. Everyone
Sure.
deals with those same things,
Yeah.
those same level of tension, stress. Everybody in that neighborhood or in that part is going through it. So transitioning from that to staying with my dad, things were a little better. But at the same time, it never took me away from my roots or the things that I went through, because I would still go, visit my mom, still my sisters, and be around those people and friends that I kind of grew up with. But at 17, I graduated high school and I went into the military. I joined the Army in 1997, straight out of high school. About four
Wow.
months out of high school, I went into the Army. I was about 2 weeks in when I turned 18, and I never looked at it as a career. I looked at it as something I wanted to learn, something I want to do, figure out my life, and get on my own. And 27 years later,
Yeah.
I
Huh.
figured out, hey, yeah, this is where I'm at with it. So I retired in 2024, but my whole military career, I've served people. I was in a human resources field. I ended up transitioning to a warrant officer in that field, and my whole career was based around serving people, whatever that may be, supporting people, serving people when they needed assistance with something. So in the beginning, I didn't actually love the job, but it grew on me so much where the job became a passion for me, and I loved helping people. I ended up loving helping people and doing what I did. It's a thankless job sometimes. You're not gonna get somebody that says,
For
"Hey,
sure.
thank you for what you've done," or "Thank you for doing this for me." It's just part of your daily duties and responsibilities for the things that you do. But at the same time, if you got a passion for it and you love it, it makes it a lot better. So being in the military, sometimes people look at the stability of it, all around the stability. You look at the discipline, you look at everything, the security, the job security
Mm.
of it, and everything, and you have all that in it. It's not for everybody, but it definitely was for me in the moment. And going through being in the military, even 12 years in, being an officer, I had times at the point where I was homeless in the military after 12
Wow.
years in.
Really?
I
Huh.
had times where, going through things where, I tried to commit suicide at one point in
Mm.
time. But just those things that you see people deal with on a regular or on a daily basis, and knowing that you went through some of those things, you were able to overcome them and then come back on the back end and help and assist people. So being able to serve in the capacity that I serve in now, based upon where I came from, my childhood growing up in Dallas, being in the military, which brought me here to Oklahoma once I retired, and helping people throughout my 27-year career in the Army, and then trying to figure out what did I want to do and how can I continue to serve people and how can I continue to serve the community that I'm in. And that was part of it, was to start a nonprofit.
Sure.
I looked at the political game of it, the politics and things like that, and I was like, I don't have to be in that realm to do what I want to do, but I could still do my part. I always
Yeah.
look at it like, do your part. What can I do? What can I do to help within my community? I can do my part. So people, you don't have to start a nonprofit. You could donate to a nonprofit. You can, whatever that may be, that you're doing your part where you're assisting or helping others within your community. I thought about that, but my vision was bigger than just donating here or doing this or helping somebody do that. I was like, I gotta expand my umbrella. I gotta start something that's gonna have an impact within the community and an impact with my family as well. And so that brought me to Knights in Armor, a nonprofit organization. So
I'm curious on the origin of that name. Obviously, your last name is in there, but I
yes.
mean, you just kind of wanted to play off the whole Knights thing.
I
Is that sort of
did.
okay?
I did. I see other people do it too, but it was a general idea. how can I make this original and I can make this kind of stick with my legacy of the last name of the men that running my family, and that was the play. Just use your last name and go with it, right?
I like it.
So
It's a
yeah,
fun one. That's good. Excellent. Um, well, it's been really fun hearing a lot about your story and just the various ways that you help people. Service clearly a big deal to you, and
yes,
love that you are trying to inspire others. I mean, hopefully that's something we can do on this show is inspire other people to serve in whatever capacity.
absolutely.
Well, let's talk about ways to serve with your organization. What are some things, what are some different ways people can get involved or support the things that you're up to?
Of course, funding. If you wanted to donate to our organization, you can at www.knightsinarmor.org. You could donate there, but we have other things too, like you can volunteer. One of our programs, we have our leadership program, we have our mentorship program. We go out to different events within the community. We do those as well. We hold fundraising events, so you can participate in that. Resources is important. If you have resources that we can connect with to help people within the community, because we don't offer everything. We always don't have the funding to do it. But if we can link people up with the resources to help them, then that'll be great. So those are some ways that you can help Knights in Armor, and we can also help the community as well.
Yeah, lots of different ways people can get involved for sure.
Absolutely.
I am curious though about that leadership program that you're talking about. Can you talk a little bit about the kinds of mentoring things that you're doing as a part of this?
Yeah, so we're looking primarily at the age group of teenagers, basically those between like the age of probably like 14 to 18 years old.
Okay.
That's going into that young adulthood age, to teach them, things that they may not have been taught in the home, or some things that they can look at going into transitioning into the adult world. How to become leaders, how to set their ground, how to build their foundation, how to take things in your own hand, and how to be a leader, how to lead, knowing how to motivate other people, how to get involved, how to be confident in what you're doing, how to figure out what it is that what you want to do exactly, where you want to
Oh,
where
that's
you're
a
going to
tough
go.
one.
Yeah. So, and then being how to get people to follow you, not just by the things that you say, but by the things that you do. Your actions speak way louder than your words. So those are the things, just the foundation of the leadership that we're growing, trying to get them involved in things like the community, and then introducing them to different people, because networking, building relationships is important in the time that we're in, this day and age. So those type of things are important as well. Getting out, networking, building relationships, meeting different people, setting your own foundation, and building from scratch and starting them. So
Okay, great. Yeah, I wanted to make sure to touch on that as well. There's those kind of multifacets of what you're
yes,
doing there. So that's
yes.
good to know. And again, a lot of different ways people can get involved in things. We want to highlight that again. But Damien, before we let you out of here, I do want to just ask you for a shout out of some kind of business organization that people in Oklahoma City, in the wider metro area, need to know about. Who do you want to shout out?
Let me say this. I have to shout out the Hope Center of Edmond.
Mm,
I was there as a volunteer and worked there for a little bit. They are doing great things within the community. I got a good relationship with the director over there. So that's one of the groups that are doing, things for the community, and they have a lot of resources for those people that are out there. Some of our sponsors, Club Car Wash, Turbo Tent, Ram Media Vision, RPC Business Development Services, Prep My Way, Food Prep. So we got a lot of different sponsors, a lot of different people that we work with that you may not know that these organizations exist out there. Some of you do, I'm pretty sure, but there are a lot of people doing a lot of great things to assist us behind the scenes, and we're
yeah,
glad to have a relationship with those people. So
love it, love it. Thanks for the shout outs there. Appreciate that a
thank you.
lot. Um, well, I mean, that's what we got for today. Again, thank you, Damien, for sharing your story, for sharing what you're doing. I really like the format of your organization. I mean, a lot of nonprofits we talk to are very big and they can do all the different things. It's true, there are big problems in the world that require all sorts of wild solutions and things like that, but sometimes somebody just needs some cash right now.
Right.
They just need a little help right now.
Exactly.
It doesn't always have to be super complicated.
Exactly.
I think that's a great lesson that you've shared with us today. We can all serve in some way, right?
Exactly. Do your part. That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All do our part. Well, thank you everybody out there who has watched or listened to this episode today. I want you to do your part and remember to share about this episode so that more people can get their eyeballs and their ears on the great things that Damien is doing today. And we want to take some time today to thank some of the people that have been involved in this particular episode. So Theophany Media, my podcast production company, helps bring this podcast to life. And we couldn't have done any of this without Rose Records, the very studio that we are in right now, and with editing help and promotion help with by Taylor Moore. We're very thankful for that. Also want to shout out Joy Renee Creative for doing our graphics and art and design and logo and things like that. And we are super appreciative of our sponsor today that has made this whole thing possible. You can learn more about the sponsor in the episode description below. And last, and certainly not least, Damien with Knights in Armor has talked to us today and has a really cool organization, and everybody needs to be checking that out and participating if you feel so called. So thanks, Damien.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.